Well, the cold was coming fast, and I had a project to take care of before the ground froze for good. The French drain we had built a few years ago was not big enough and was growing in, and water was still seeping into the basement during big storms. Plus, the pipe popped out right in the middle of the yard, and I wanted to extend it to the woods so I could level the yard out. And in order to do that, we had to get these shacks out of the way. I had been looking forward to taking down this old ugly shack since we moved in and harvesting all its components for future use. We had already used some of these rough sawn boards as an accent wall when we built out my home office, and we would use the rest of these when we renovated the basement, which was going to happen as soon as the drain was built. Took the shed down, harvested all the wood, and then we ended up clearing out some more land. We really want to put a greenhouse right into this hillside and have a root cellar underneath it. So we started working towards that. Gonna have tons of brush now for wood chips so we can even out the ground and a ton more firewood. And we unlocked a whole new angle to the house. I just can't believe it. The yard feels so much bigger. It's so cool what you could do with just a few hours of work and the right tools. Seriously, this was just a tight, narrow corridor right here. And this was thick knotweed and woods, and it's just unreal. I love it so much. And in the background of projects and cold weather chores were the other aspects of seasonal hilltown life.
I love it. It makes me happy.
There is nothing like it. You're not getting in, are you?
I will get past the shallow part. That will be my best.
Oh man!
But I've seen some monster back here.
Doing a little tag team brigade here. Yeah. Oh.
No, I know military strategy. That was organized.
That was 100%. Your Honor, they came out of nowhere. I was joking, but it seems
like,
that.
It's not like how this said. Do it.
It's not even upright.
What is that? Put the silencer on. Yeah. Extra full, modified, improved cylinder, improved modified, coffee, and hazelnut Bailey's creamer.
That's
big compliment.
I was wondering maybe you could start doing that.
Loaded just in case. Hashtag cancel Trout God.
Got it.
Without fail, every time you go to pick up these guys, that's the plan. Oh, this is what we're doing. I think.
Guns at the ready.
I don't want to keep it at the ready, but fan fell off. Like, that'd be my luck.
I was going to overbuild this drain so that not a drop of water would ever make it to that basement again. The concept of having to redo something you already did wasn't exciting, but you have to listen to your gut and do what you know is right for the long run. If you've been watching these videos for a while, you know that renovating our basement has been a long time coming. But before we got to the fun stuff, we had to take care of upgrading our heating and cooling system. And to do that, we had to upgrade our electrical panel.
This part.
And so we're still in the middle of that. We haven't connected all the circuits. One of them that isn't connected is our stove. So we've had to run it off of this Jackery HP 3600 Plus. So just to show you what this thing is capable of, I've got the fridge plugged in right now. I've got the oven plugged in, set to 400. We'll turn on the air fryer, and I can run the coffee grinder all at the same time. So we're here at our new electric panel, where we also have our transfer switch, which plugs directly into the HP 3600. This unit is 3.6 kilowatt hours of power, which is a ton, but it's expandable up to 21 kilowatt hours. That could power your fridge for up to 2 weeks. I need to make sure my home office can always run during an outage, because this is where I operate my business out of, and the HP 3600 can run it with ease. There's many different ways to charge it, but one of the best ways is with solar, where it charges really fast. So it's got this great handle, these nice wheels, it's very rugged, and it works really well in freezing temperatures. So I can plug it into the block heater on my tractor, leave it plugged in for hours on end, weekend and be able to start my tractor when it's really cold out. The HomePower 3600 is simple, safe, and easy essential home backup power for the modern household. It's built for over a decade of durability. And like all Jackery products, it comes with a great warranty. And right now you can get Jackery's lowest prices of 2025. Just hit the link in the video description to get up to 65% off for their Black Friday sale. So thank you to Jackery for sponsoring this video. And now back to the story. I've learned so much since my friend Jared and I first put this drain in over 2 years ago. And it's a good feeling having the confidence to take something like this on, and doing it yourself gives you a deeper attachment to the property and the shelter that you call home. And one of the other things we were excited to do was get rid of this old coil that's around the whole foundation and replace it with a wood solution that looks much cleaner. I wanted to make the drain big enough to catch the massive pile of snow that forms by the end of winter due to the steep pitch of the roof. Though it would only be once a year, catching that spring melt would be very important in preserving the basement. And in this process, there was tons of old systems no longer in use that could be removed and cleaned up. And it was exciting, the concept of making everything feel new.
So I believe this was a failure point right here. The old drain wasn't deep enough or far enough away from the house, and the water would just pile up and seep right into that crack.
But in the middle of this project, the ground started to freeze and the snow started to fall. and if our elevation was catching flakes, it would be worth checking on the higher ones, as maybe they would be in Wonderland mode. So it was officially cozy season, and at one point in November, after a long day of editing, I took to the snowy woods as the world turned blue. It wouldn't be long till the snow machines were out, and I really wanted to groom a cross-country ski loop on our land, but the trails were going to need some more work before that could happen. But I figure once we finish renovating this basement in the early new year, I can get back to work on the trails. Eventually, it warmed up a bit and the snow was gone, and I got back to the final push of this drain. And in the background, we had to keep up with the other things we never got around to, which happens every year. But one day, when the renovations are done, we'll be on top of it all. And by the end, we didn't just have a new drain, we had a whole new area of the yard. We made a new garlic patch where it would get lots of sun, and Allie planted 100 bulbs. And on one of the snow squalls, I wanted to check on a place that I thought would still have remnants of autumn. As there is no magic quite like the intersection of fall and winter. Renovating the basement in our little house was going to change our lives. And like with all projects, there was countless unforeseen steps that needed to happen before the fun stuff. But in that process, we updated everything and learned our structure and all our systems inside and out. And now it was the best time of year, the holiday season, and the fun part was about to begin.